You're watching the chart when it happens. A candle explodes upward without hesitation. No pullback, no warning, just acceleration. Momentum surges, volume expands, and price starts doing exactly what every trader hopes it will do. Except you're not in the trade. In that moment, your body reacts before your mind does. Your chest tightens, your breathing becomes shallow, your eyes lock onto the screen. You don't analyze, you don't evaluate, you feel. And what you feel isn't excitement, it's discomfort. The kind of discomfort that demands action. Your mind starts bargaining. Maybe I can catch the rest of the move. Maybe it pulls back a little. Maybe this is the breakout that keeps running. Maybe waiting was the mistake. This internal conversation happens fast, almost silently, but its impact is enormous. Because this is the moment where most traders abandon their system, not because it failed, but because it didn't deliver instant validation. FOMO is often misunderstood. People think it's about greed. It's not. Greed comes later. FOMO is about identity. It's about watching the market move and feeling like you're not part of it, like you hesitated while others acted, like you're being left behind. And that feeling is deeply uncomfortable for the human brain. The market didn't do anything wrong. It didn't trick you. It didn't attack you. But your ego interprets the move as a personal failure. And once trading becomes personal, discipline collapses quietly. Professional traders understand something that takes years to accept. The market is not a series of isolated opportunities. It is a continuous process, an auction that never ends. There is no last trade. There is no final move. There is only probability playing out over time. But FOMO compresses time. It makes the future disappear and replaces it with urgency. One candle becomes everything. This is where the danger begins. When urgency enters your decision-making, structure leaves it. You stop asking whether the trade fits your plan. You stop asking whether the risk makes sense. You stop asking where you're wrong. You only ask one question: how do I get in? And that question alone is enough to destroy accounts. Paul Tudor Jones once said, "The most important rule of trading is to play great defense, not great offense." That statement sounds simple, but it contains a brutal truth. Trading is not about how much you can make when things go right. It's about how little you lose when things go wrong. FOMO attacks defense first. It convinces you that waiting is weakness, that patience is passivity, that missing out is failure. Most traders don't lose because they don't have a strategy. They lose because they don't respect timing. They enter when risk is highest, not lowest. And late entries are some of the highest risk trades you can take. Not because the move won't continue, but because your positioning is emotionally compromised from the start. When you enter late, you are already uncomfortable. You are already behind. And when price hesitates even slightly, fear spikes. You tighten stops. You hesitate on exits. You make poor decisions not because the trade is bad, but because your psychology is already fractured. This is why late entries rarely feel calm. They feel urgent, and urgency is the enemy of consistency. If chasing candles worked, it would be the most common path to long-term success. It's not. The traders who last, decade after decade, are the ones who miss more trades than they take. They are not trying to participate in everything. They are trying to participate only when the odds are clearly in their favor. Mark Minervini has openly discussed sitting out entire market phases because his conditions were not met. Not hours, not days, entire phases. While others were celebrating momentum, he was doing nothing. And that inactivity wasn't accidental, it was intentional, because his job was not to be entertained. His job was to protect capital. This is where retail traders get confused. They see movement and assume opportunity. Professionals see movement and ask context. They ask where price is relative to structure. They ask how extended the move already is. They ask who is likely trapped and who is likely positioned correctly. And if those answers don't align, they don't trade. FOMO traders trade outcomes. Professionals trade conditions. Social media makes this worse. You don't see the missed trades. You don't see the restraint. You don't see the boredom. You see the screenshot after the move. You see the profit, not the process. And slowly, subconsciously, you start believing that participation equals competence, that if you're not in the move, you're doing something wrong. That belief is deadly.
Here's a truth that experienced traders learn the hard way. The candle you missed was never yours. It only feels that way because you saw it. If you weren't positioned before the move, you didn't earn the right to profit from it. That's not harsh, that's reality. Trading rewards preparation, not reaction. A setup does not appear after the move. It either existed before or it didn't. And if it didn't, entering late is not confidence. It's negotiation. You are negotiating with your own rules, trying to bend them just enough to justify an emotional decision. That's why rules-based traders survive. Not because their rules are perfect, but because rules remove discretion at the wrong time. When your checklist says no, the trade simply does not exist. There is no debate, no reinterpretation, no emotional override. Price movement alone is never a signal. Structure matters, location matters, time matters, market conditions matter. And if those factors were not aligned before the candle moved, then the trade is already invalid, no matter how good it looks in hindsight. Late entries are almost always emotional relief trades. Relief from discomfort, relief from feeling left out, relief from watching others win. And the market is ruthless with traders who trade relief instead of logic. Jesse Livermore famously said, "Money is made by sitting, not trading." That statement sounds counterintuitive to beginners. Sitting feels like missing out. Sitting feels like wasting time. Sitting feels like doing nothing. But sitting is where discipline is built. Sitting is where overtrading dies. Sitting is where you learn that not every move deserves your money. FOMO traders believe the market owes them opportunity. Professionals know the market owes them nothing. The market does not care if you missed a move. It does not care how long you've waited. It does not care how badly you want to be right. It simply moves. Opportunities repeat. Patterns recycle. Volatility returns. But capital does not regenerate once destroyed. Every impulsive entry is a tax on your future self. A small one at first, then a bigger one, then eventually an account-ending one. This is why experienced traders measure success differently. They don't ask how many trades they took. They ask how many bad trades they avoided. They don't measure excitement. They measure longevity. They don't chase validation. They chase consistency. The market will be here tomorrow, next week, next year. There will always be another breakout, another trend, another clean setup. The only thing that may not survive is your account. If you keep proving to yourself that rules are optional when emotions get loud. Missing a trade is not a mistake, chasing one is. And if a single candle can force you into a trade, it can force you out of your account just as easily. Discipline is not proven when you win. Anyone can feel disciplined when they're making money. Discipline is proven when you don't enter, when you let a move go, when you watch price run without you and do nothing. That moment, uncomfortable as it is where traders are separated from gamblers. So the next time you see that candle explode without you, pause, not in action, but in thought. Ask yourself whether the setup existed before the move. Ask yourself whether you're trading structure or emotion. Ask yourself whether you're protecting your system or feeding your ego. Because the goal was never to catch every move. The goal was to still be here when the right ones appear. If you missed the move, good. That means you didn't break your rules. And in trading, protecting the rules is protecting your future.